जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस प्रवचकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर श्री श्रीमद अभय चरणारविंद हिज डिवाइन ग्रेस AC भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस प्रवचकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर श्री श्रीमद भक्त सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी महाराज प्रभुपाद की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा गोपीनाथ भगवान की जय। श्री श्री गौर निताय की जय। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे। All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga Nitai Gaur Premanande. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayam udirayet nashta praeshva badreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna. Welcome everyone to this morning's Srimad Bhagavatam class. So today we are reading from Canto 4, Chapter 12, titled Dhruva Maharaj Goes Back to Godhead, and text number 20. Tatranudeva pravarau chaturbhujau Tatranudeva pravarau chaturbhujau Shyamau kishorav arunam bhujekshanau Shyamau kishorav arunam bhujekshanau Stitavavastabhyagadam subhasasau Stitavavastabhyagadam subhasasau Kiritaharangadcharu kundalau Kiritaharangadcharu kundalau Tatranudeva pravarau chaturbhujau Shyamau kishorav arunam bhujekshanau Stitavavastabhyagadam subhasasau किरीटहाराङ्गदचारुकुण्डलौ तत्रानुदेव प्रवरौ चतुर्भुजौ श्यामौ किशोरावरुणाम्बुजेक्षणौ स्थितावष्टाभ्यगदां सुवाससौ किरीटहाराङ्गदचारुकुण्डलौ तत्रानुदेव प्रवरौ श्यामौ किशोरावरुणाम्बुजेक्षणौ तत्रानुदेव प्रवरौ चतुर्भुजौ किशोरावरुणाम्बुजेक्षणौ स्थितावष्टाभ्यगदां सुवाससौ किरीटहाराङ्गदचारुकुण्डलौ तत्रानुदेव प्रवरौ चतुर्भुजौ श्यामौ किशोरावरुणाम्बुजेक्षणौ स्थितावष्टाभ्यगदां सुवाससौ किरीटहाराङ्गदचारुकुण्डलौ Vaishnavis. तत्रानुदेव प्रवरौ चतुर्भुजौ श्यामौ किशोरावरुणाम्बुजेक्षणौ स्थितावष्टाभ्यगदां सुवाससौ किरीटहाराङ्गदचारुकुण्डलौ प्रवरौ चतुर्भुजौ श्यामौ किशोरावरुणाम्बुजेक्षणौ स्थितावष्टाभ्यगदां सुवाससौ किरीटहाराङ्गदचारुकुण्डलौ. Word-to-word meaning. Tatra, there. Anu, then. Deva Pravarau, two very beautiful demigods. Chaturbhujau, with four arms. Shamau, blackish. Kishorau, quite young. Aruna, reddish. Ambuja, lotus flower. Ikshanau, with eyes. Stitau, situated. Avashtabhya, holding. Gadam, clubs. Suvasasau, with nice garments, kirita, helmets, hara, necklaces, angada, bracelets, charu, beautiful, kundala, with earrings. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. Dhruva Maharaj saw two very beautiful associates of Lord Vishnu in the plain. They had 4 hands and a blackish bodily luster. They were very youthful, and their eyes were just like reddish lotus flowers. They held clubs in their hands, and they were dressed in very attractive garments with helmets, and were decorated with necklaces, bracelets, and earrings. Purport: the inhabitants of Vishnu Loka are of the same bodily feature as Lord Vishnu, and they also hold club, conch shell, lotus flower, and disc. In this verse, it is distinctly stated that they had 4 hands and were nicely dressed. The description of their bodily decorations corresponds exactly to that of Vishnu. So, the 2 uncommon personalities who descended from the airplane came directly from Vishnu Loka, or the planet where Lord Vishnu lives. Jai Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Let's do Mangalacharan. Om Ajnanatirmirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Ena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Ena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Gurum Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Bhuter Mahadbirya Ima Puro Vibhu Nirmaya Shete Yadamoshu Purusha Bhunkter Gunamsho Dasashodasatmaka Solang Krashishta Bhagavan Vachamsi Me. Shri Krishna Sharanam Sharanagatam Katha Amritam Satatapi Bhatam Bhakti Vedanta Marga Panktanam Sarvalokarishi Deva Janna Prasannam Sarvalokarishi Deva Janna Prasannam. Hare Krishna. Welcome everyone again to this morning Srimad Bhagavatam class as we are meditating on the beautiful pastime of Dhruva Maharaj. So for the pleasure of Shri Shri Radha Gopinath, Srila Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev and all the devotees, let us today speak and hear from the most beautiful verses of Srimad Bhagavatam. So today's verse we are hearing, Dhruva Maharaj saw two very beautiful associates of Lord Vishnu in the plain. They had 4 hands and a blackish bodily luster. They were very youthful, and their eyes were just like reddish lotus flowers. They held clubs in their hands, and they were dressed in very attractive garments with helmets, and were decorated with necklaces, bracelets, and earrings. So we have a very beautiful verse which describes the beauty of the inhabitants of Vishnu Loka, who have the same beautiful form as Lord Vishnu. Except there is one important difference. What is that? Between Lord Vishnu and the inhabitants of the Vishnu Loka? 2 tiny things, but important. Very good, wonderful. And Shrivatsa. So Lord Vishnu has Shrivatsa, that is Goddess Lakshmi, who is situated in his heart. And she is in the form of 3 golden streaks in the heart of Lord Vishnu. And Lord Vishnu also wears the beautiful Kaustuba gem in his necklace. So other than that, which is very unique to Lord Vishnu and only he has, all the other features are present in the inhabitants of Vishnu Loka. And we see these 2 beautiful personalities whose names are Nanda and Sunanda, who are very dear to Lord Vishnu, who are his close associates, who have come in person to take Dhruva Maharaj back home, back to the spiritual world. So to get the context, we have seen that we've seen the beautiful pastime of Dhruva Maharaj unfold. And what happened? Dhruva Maharaj was fighting with the Yakshas because one of them killed his brother Uttama. And then what happened? Following Swayambhuva Manu's advice, Dhruva Maharaj stopped fighting. And then what happens? Kubera appears before him. Kubera, who is the lord of wealth. And the Yakshas are also the attendants of Kubera. And therefore Kubera personally comes and he is speaking to Dhruva Maharaj. And he is saying, I'm so pleased with you that you have followed all the instructions that your grandfather has given, Swayambhuva Manu. And now please ask a benediction from me. Now imagine the Lord of Wealth is right there in front of you. Yeah, anyone in this material world, they would have said, I want this, I want that, and But what did Dhruva Maharaj ask? So that is the key point. What did Dhruva Maharaj ask? It is said, so Maitreya Muni says, Saraja Rajena Varaya Chodito Dhruvo Mahabhagavato Mahamatihi Harau Savavre Chalitam Smritim Yaya Taratyat Ayatnena Duratyayam Tamaha. So, when Kubera asked Dhruva to take a benediction, what did he say? So, Maitreya Muni is explaining this and he is saying to Vidura, he's saying, my dear Vidura, when thus asked to accept a benediction from Kubera, the Yaksha Raja, Dhruva Maharaj, that most elevated pure devotee, who was an intelligent and thoughtful king,
So that's the key point. Intelligent and thoughtful. And what did he ask? He begged that he might have unflinching faith in and remembrance of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. For thus a person can cross over the ocean of nescience very easily, although it is very difficult for others to cross. So this is what Dhruva Maharaj asked. So he asked for two things. What did he ask for? Unflinching faith in the Supreme Lord and constant remembrance of the Supreme Lord, Smaranam, which is what Prahlad Maharaj is very, very well known for. Smaranam, constantly remembering the Lord. So this beautiful request from Dhruva Maharaj is what that attracted the Lord's mercy. And when, after Dhruva Maharaj ruled the whole planetary system for about 36,000 years, after ruling and living with all material opulence, when he was ready to depart, at that time a beautiful airplane comes right in front of him, straight from Vishnu Loka. And here in today's verse we are seeing that these two beautiful inhabitants, who are the associates of Lord Vishnu, that is Nanda and Sunanda, who have the same bodily features as Lord Vishnu, they have appeared personally to take Dhruva back home. So here Srila Prabhupada explains in the purport that Dhruva Maharaj was constantly absorbed in thinking of the lotus feet of Lord Krishna. That is, we see it in the subsequent verses, in the next verse, in the next couple of verses. We see that since Dhruva Maharaj had this benediction to constantly remember the Supreme Lord, his heart was completely absorbed in Lord Vishnu. And therefore, what happened when the two confidential servants, Nanda and Sunanda, approached him, smiling happily, Dhruva stood there with folded hands and bowing humbly. And then they have a conversation. So, Srila Prabhupada explains that these two inhabitants, that is Nanda and Sunanda, they are, in one of the verses later we see that they are Pushkara Nabha Sammatau. So Pushkara Nabha refers to Lord Vishnu. That is, he has a lotus-like navel. And Sammatau means same as, or being in agreement with. So these inhabitants of Vishnu Loka are always acting according to the will of the Supreme Lord. And therefore, that is why what is happening, they have the same qualities, the same features, the same opulence, everything in fullness as the Supreme Lord. They have all the, of course, Krishna's opulence is unlimited. It's like an ocean. We cannot even measure it. But all these inhabitants of Vishnu Loka, they possess the same qualities. Why? Because they are constantly in agreement with the Supreme Lord's will. And that is why Nanda and Sunanda are also his confidential associates. Now we can see that also in the material world. You know, when someone wants to have a friendship with someone, or when someone wants to take someone very close to them, they will see, you know, is that person thinking in the same way as me? Do we have similarities? Are we in agreement with a lot of our desires, the way we want to please the Supreme Lord? Only then they accept them as friends. or as partners, or even any bosses, if they want someone to work for them, they will see, is this person trying to follow my instructions? So, we see that the inhabitants of Vishnu Loka are constantly in agreement with the Supreme Lord. So today, and we are also seeing that Dhruva Maharaj was constantly in remembrance of the Supreme Lord that attracted his mercy and these two beautiful personalities to appear before him. So today we'll try to meditate on the beautiful description of Vishnu Loka and their inhabitants. So before Lord Brahma begins creation, when Lord Brahma appears on the lotus flower that comes from the navel of Lord Vishnu, and when he's seated on the lotus, he tries to trace back, where is this lotus coming from? And he is not able to find it. And at that time, he hears the words, tapa, tapa, that means austerity. So on hearing these words from the Supreme Lord, Lord Brahma does penance for thousands and thousands of celestial years. That is the years calculation according to the demigods. Then after that, what happens? Lord Vishnu, who is so pleased with who is so pleased with Lord Brahma, he manifests the Vishnu Loka in front of him. And Lord Brahma gets a beautiful darshan of the spiritual world. And then that's where he starts offering what prayers does he offer? Which we all recite. The beautiful Brahma Samhita prayers. So how does the prayer begin? Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchitananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam Chintamani Prakarasadma Shukalpa Vriksha Lakshavriteshu Surabhira Vipalayantam Lakshmi Sahasra Shata Sambrama Sevyamanam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. So here it is saying that this beautiful spiritual world, what does it have? Chintamani Prakarasadma Shukalpa Vriksha. That is, I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, the first progenitor, who is tending the cows, yielding all desire, in abodes built with spiritual gems, surrounded by millions of purpose trees, always served with great reverence and affection by hundreds of thousands of Lakshmis or gopis. So, what happens is, now, Lord Krishna is called as the Adisha. Okay, the Lord of the Three. Now, this three refers to many different things. Like, he's the Lord of, or he's the controller of Lord Brahma, Lord Vishnu, Lord Shiva. And then also he's the, he manifests himself as, or he expands as Karanodakashayi Vishnu, Garbhodakashayi Vishnu, and Kshirodakashayi Vishnu. Now, in Chaitanya Charitamrita, we hear one confidential reason why Lord Krishna is called as Adisha. That is, he is the proprietor of the three dhams. That is, the Hari Dham, which is the Vishnu Loka, the planet where Lord Vishnu lives, the Mahesha Dham, where Lord Shiva lives, and the Devi Dham, which is the material world. So, Lord Krishna's original place, or which is his home, where he is eternally there, his space, that is the Goloka Vrindavana. And then from there, we see the expansions. So, we see the Vishnu Loka, which is an expansion coming from the Supreme Lord, where the Lord permeates. He goes into he expands. And this Vishnu Loka has innumerable planets which are called as the Vaikunta planets. And it is said that in these Vaikunta planets there is no anxiety, there is no ignorance, there is no passion. Everyone is just so blissfully serving the Supreme Lord. And that is why it is called as Vaikunta, means no anxiety. So this place is just always blissful, which is what we can also experience in this material world when we also constantly come under the shelter of Sri Krishna, when we constantly associate with devotees, when we constantly try to serve and please Krishna, then we are also in the Vaikuntha atmosphere in this very spiritual world, in this material world, which is also spiritual because it is a part of Krishna. So this is the prayer that we see in Brahma Samhita. Golokanamni nijadamni talecha tasya devi mahesha haridama shrute shruteshu te prabhava nichaya vihitashayena govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. So below the planet named Goloka Vrindavana are the planets known as Devidam, Maheshadam and Haridam. And these are opulent in different ways. They are managed by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Govinda, the original Lord. I offer my obeisances unto him. So we see a beautiful description of the Vishnu Loka in Chaitanya Charitamrita as well. So here it is said, Taratale Paravyoma Vishnu Loka Nama Narayana Adi Ananta Swarupera Dhama. That is, below the Vrindavana planet is the spiritual sky, which is known as Vishnu Loka. The same thing, what we heard just now. In Vishnu Loka, there are innumerable Vaikunta planets controlled by Narayana and innumerable other expansions of Krishna. And then what it is said, this is again from Chaitanya Charitamrita, the spiritual sky which is full in all 6 opulences is the intermediate residence of Lord Krishna. So from between Goloka Vrindavana and the Devidam, where we are all in that intermediate space where we are seeing Vishnu Loka, that is where Krishna is expanding himself. It is there that an unlimited number of forms of Krishna enjoy their pastimes. Innumerable Vaikunta planets, which are just like different rooms of a treasure house, are all there, filled with all opulences. So all these Vaikunta planets, they are like different rooms in a house. Imagine, like, in a house, we'll have different rooms, isn't it? There's like a lounge, the kitchen, the bedroom, the study room, whatever. Like that, in Vishnu Loka, Lord Vishnu has different rooms, which are the Vaikunta planets. We can see the opulence of the Lord, how big and how opulent each of his rooms are. And those unlimited planets house the Lord's eternal associates. So it is from this beautiful place that Nanda and Sunanda are arriving to take Dhruva back home. And they are also enriched with the 6 opulences. And then we see Shata Sahasra Ayuta Laksha Koti Yojana Eka eka Vaikuntera Vistara Varnana. The breadth of each Vaikuntha planet is described as 8 miles multiplied by 100, by 1,000, by 10,000, by 100,000, and by 10 million. In other words, each Vaikuntha planet is expanded beyond our ability to measure. So this just gives us a picture of the enormous, beautiful, humongous Vishnu Loka, which is beyond our comprehension. Then, Ananta Vaikuntha Paravyoma Yara Dhala Shreni Sarvopari Krishna Loka Karnikara Gani. The shape of the spiritual sky is compared to a lotus flower. The topmost region of that flower is called the whirl, and within that whirl is Krishna's abode, which is what we saw, the Golok Vrindavan. The petals of the spiritual lotus flower consist of many Vaikuntha planets. So we are seeing a beautiful comparison or the beautiful description of how the whole spiritual world looks like. And then, Eimata Sadaishwarya Sthana Avatara Brahma Shiva Antana Paya Jiva Konachara. Each Vaikuntha planet is full of spiritual bliss, complete opulence and space, and each is inhabited by incarnations. If Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva cannot estimate the length and breadth of the spiritual sky and the Vaikuntha planets, how can ordinary living entities begin to imagine them? So, where are all of us? Even Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, who are such exalted personalities, expansions of the Supreme Lord, even they cannot measure the beauty or the strength or the opulences and the expanse of these Vaikuntha planets. Then who are all of us? So we'll hear a little pastime where once Lord Brahma went to see Lord Krishna as he was ruling Dwaraka. So when Lord Brahma went to the entrance of the, one of the Vaikuntha planets where Lord Krishna was in his kingly position, the doorman stopped him and then asked, "Who are you? Who are you who's come here?" And then Lord Brahma said, "Oh, I am Lord Brahma. Please go and inform Lord Krishna." And then the doorman went and he informed Lord Krishna, "Lord Brahma has come to see you." And who was this Lord Brahma? The four-headed Lord Brahma of this universe. And then Lord Krishna asked, "Which Brahma?" So then the doorman came back to Lord Brahma and he asked, "My Lord, Lord Krishna, he's asking which Brahma has come." Then Lord Brahma said, "Please tell him that I am the father of the four Kumaras, the Lord Brahma who has come." So then he goes back and gives the message, and then Lord Krishna calls him inside. Then Lord Brahma goes. And then Lord Krishna, after speaking to Lord Brahma nicely, he says, "Is everything okay? What have you come here for?" And at that time, Lord Brahma says, "I'll tell you everything, but before that, I have a little doubt in my mind. Why did you ask which Lord Brahma has come?" Because he was thinking, "Don't you know I am Lord Brahma, the four-headed Brahma? Don't you know me?" And with that mode, he was saying, "Why did you ask which Brahma?" And then immediately, what did Lord Krishna do? He just meditated and immediately appeared there like thousands and 10,000s and millions of Lord Brahmas, and each one had countless number of heads. One Brahma had 1,000 heads, one had 10,000 heads, one had 1,000,000 heads, and the numerous Lord Shivas and numerous Lord Indras And all these Indras, they had again thousands of heads and they had thousands of eyes all over their body. And all of them came and they were trying to bow down before Lord Krishna. And as they were bowing down, their helmets were all hitting each other because each one had, so many different heads. So all of them bowing down in front of the Lord, their helmets were banging with each other and it was creating a tumultuous sound. And then at that time, our little Lord Brahma with 4 heads, he realized, oh, it means that there are so many planets, there are so many Lord Brahmas and Lord Indras and Lord Shivas. And this way, Lord Krishna showed him his opulence and the magnitude of the spiritual world. So it is said that 3/4 of the spiritual world is in the spiritual sky. Only 1/4 is here in this material world. So we cannot even imagine how great and supreme this beautiful Vishnu Loka is. Then we also see that, all these, the inhabitants of the Vishnu Loka, even they are all very, as we saw, they're all so beautifully dressed. Some verses, where are those? Yes, it's coming. So, in another pastime, we see how Akrura gets a vision of the Vishnu Loka. So when does that happen? When Akrura comes to take Krishna and Balram to Mathura, when Kamsa wants to have a fight with little Krishna. So at that time, when Akrura is taking Krishna Balram on the chariot, they are driving and they reach the Yamuna river. And then they park the chariot on the side, and then Krishna and Balram, they go and they have a little bath in the Yamuna river, and they come back and they sit in the chariot. Then Akrura takes their permission and he also goes to take a bath in the Yamuna. And when he goes and he dips and then he comes back and then he's seeing that, Krishna Balram are sitting in the chariot. And then when he goes back into the water, suddenly he sees Krishna Balram standing there in the water. And Akrura is wondering, what is this? I thought they were sitting in the chariot. How did they appear inside the water? So he goes back, but he sees Krishna Balram, they're sitting in the chariot. Then he comes back again and he takes a dip into the water. And now he sees the beautiful Vishnu Loka right in front of his eyes. Because Lord Krishna wanted to give him the darshan of his beautiful abode. And what does he see there? Tasyotsange ganashyamam pita kauseya vasasam purusham chaturbujam shantam padma patrarunekshanam charu prasanna vadanam charu hasa nirikshanam subhrunasam charu karnam sukapolarunadharam pralamba pivarabhujam tungam sorastalashriyam kambukantam nimnanabham balimat pallavodharam. Akrura saw the Supreme Personality of Godhead lying peacefully on the lap of Lord Ananta Sesha. So Lord Ananta Sesha is Lord Balram. The complexion of that Supreme Person was like a dark blue cloud. He wore yellow garments and had 4 arms and reddish lotus petal eyes. So here again we see Padma Patrarunekshanam. So Lord Vishnu having beautiful reddish lotus petal-like eyes, and which is what we are also seeing in Nanda and Sunanda, the two inhabitants who have come to receive Dhruva Maharaj, they also had the same beautiful blackish complexion, wearing yellow garments with reddish lotus petal-like eyes. Then Lord Vishnu, his face looked attractive and cheerful with its smiling, endearing glance and lovely eyebrows. So Lord Vishnu is always smiling. You know, we also see that in one of the verses before, when Kardama Muni, in front of Kardama Muni, when Lord Vishnu appears, Kiritinam Kundalinam Shanka Chakra Gadhadaram Shvetotpala Kridanakam Manasparsha Smitekshanam. So Lord Vishnu's beautiful smile is Manasparsha. It touches one's heart. So he's got a beautiful, soft smile. He's not like smiling like that. You know, he's got a very sweet, gentle smile. Very pleasing. And then, what did he have? Lovely eyebrows, its raised nose and finely formed ears, and its beautiful cheeks and reddish lips. The Lord's broad shoulders and expansive chest were beautiful, and his arms long and stout. His neck resembled a conch shell, his navel was deep, and his abdomen bore lines like those on a banyan leaf. So that's the beautiful form of Lord Vishnu, who's lying down on Anantasesha in this beautiful Vishnu Loka that Akrura is having a darshan. And then we see adorned with a helmet, bracelets and armlets, which were all bedecked with many priceless jewels, and also with a belt, a sacred thread, necklaces, ankle belts and earrings. The Lord shone with dazzling effulgence. In one hand he held a lotus flower, and in the other a conch shell, discus and a club. Gracing his chest were the Srivatsa mark, the brilliant Kaustuba gem, and a flower garland. So, this is how Lord Vishnu was beautifully appearing, holding a lotus, Shankha, Chakra, Gada, Padma, wearing the Vaijayanti garland, and then a flower garland shining so brilliantly. And then what happened? Encircling the Lord and worshipping him. Now, this is what is connecting us to today's verse. Encircling the Lord and worshipping him were Nanda, Sunanda, and his other personal attendants, Sanaka and the other Kumaras, Brahma, Rudra, and other chief demigods, the 9 chief Brahmanas, and the best of the saintly devotees, headed by Prahalada, Narada, and Uparichara Vasu. Each of these great personalities was worshipping the Lord by chanting sanctified words of praise in his own unique mood. So each of these devotees who were surrounding the Supreme Lord, each one was worshipping according to his or her own unique mood in relationship to Lord Vishnu. And that is what we see in the spiritual world. Sometimes even in this material world, we try to put everyone into one box. You know, we think that everyone has the same nature. Everyone should worship the Lord in the same way. No, each one is a unique part and parcel of Krishna. Each one has their own unique expression of love and servitude to Krishna. So that is what is an inspiration from us from Vishnu Loka. So we can imagine, you know, Prahalada, he is worshipping with one mode. Narad Muni is worshipping with his own unique mode. And then we see the four Kumaras. We see Nanda and Sunanda. Each one glorifying and praising the Lord with their own unique talents and skills and desires and abilities to please the Supreme Lord. Then we see this. Also in attendance were the Lord's principal internal potencies, Shri, Pushti, Gir, Kanti, Kirti, Tushti, Ila and Urja, as were his material opulences, Vidya, Avidya and Maya, and his internal pleasure potency, Shakti. So all of them were surrendering the Supreme Lord. They were all worshipping. And here in the purport, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, he explains that these names that we heard, Shri, Pushti, Gir, Kanti, who are all of them? Shri Vishwanath Chakravarti explains the Lord's potency is mentioned in these verses. That is, Shri is the potency of wealth, Pushti, that of strength, Gir is knowledge, Kanti is beauty, Kirti, fame, Tushti, renunciation. So even the 6 opulences of Lord Krishna, his internal potencies, they are also personalities. Can we see that? How beautifully the pages of Srimad Bhagavatam is giving us a vision of the most beautiful opulences and the internal potency of Krishna. These are the Lord's 6 opulences, and Ila is his Bhu Shakti, also known as Sandini, the internal potency of whom the element earth is an expansion. Urja is his internal potency for performing pastimes. That is, Urja is also a name of Srimati Radharani, who is a pleasure-giving potency of Krishna. She expands as the Tulasi plant in this world. So, we have the Tulsi plant and we are all worshipping every morning. You know, we pour water. Who are we pleasing? By pleasing Tulsi Maharani, we are pleasing Urja or Srimati Radharani, who is the closest, dearmost associate of Lord Krishna. So, that is the beautiful Vishnu Loka that Akrura saw. So, it is from this beautiful Vishnu Loka that Nanda and Sunanda have now arrived to take Dhruva Maharaj back home. And so we see that how Dhruva Maharaj was so fortunate to get the darshan of these 2 beautiful dear associates of Lord Vishnu, Nanda and Sunanda. And what was it? Because of his wish and desire to have 2 things. What is it? Unflinching faith in the Supreme Lord and constant remembrance of the Supreme Lord. And so, which is what we all have to also strive for, and which is what we also see in the beautiful Damodarashtakam. So what do we see? We will end with this beautiful verse that what do we sing every day as we are pleasing Lord Damodara? We are saying this, isn't it? So for the pleasure of Shri Radha Damodar, in this beautiful month of Kartik, let us sing this, and we will end with a beautiful remembrance of little Bala Gopala in our hearts. Varam Deva Moksham Na Mokshavadim Va Nachanyam Vrineham Vareshadapiha.
idam te vapurnata gopala balam sada me manasya virastam kimanyai. Idam te vapurnata gopala balam sada me manasya virastam kimanyai.
So, what are we hearing? O Lord, although you are able to give all kinds of benedictions, I do not pray to you for the boon of impersonal liberation, nor the highest liberation of eternal life in Vaikuntha, nor any other boon which may be obtained by executing the 9 processes of bhakti. O Lord, I simply wish that this form of yours is Balagopala in Vrindavan may ever be manifest in my heart. For what is the use to me of any other boon besides this? So, this is what even Dhruva Maharaj portrayed and exemplified. When he was asked for any benediction, Dhruva Maharaj said he didn't ask for any of the Purusharthas, not even liberation. All that he wanted was just remembrance of Krishna and loving service unto him in the association of pure devotees. So on that note, we will conclude today's class and let us pray for Shri Radha Gopinath's mercy so that we can always remember them very dearly in our heart by chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Grantraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Gurudev ki jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande. Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Any questions, comments? Great. Yes, Prabhuji. Okay. I would feel from my limited understanding, if we see Srimati Radharani as a personal expansion of Krishna who gives him pleasure always and who is also full in all the qualities as Sri Krishna himself, so all these personalities would also be in full. That's what I feel. Because if they are internal potencies of Krishna, and then we also see that there is no difference between Radharani and Krishna in one way. You know, she's just the first expansion that comes out of him, who's giving pleasure to him. So that's what I would feel, although I can't say like from a Shastric reference because I don't know offhand. But this is what I feel from my understanding. Any senior devotees, you would know. Okay. So we will take it as we can still consult and find out, but we can take it that these personalities are Srimati Radharani. So, because if it says internal potency, see, Shri, Pushti, Gir, Khanti, Kirti, Tushti, Ila, and Urja. So Urja is none other than Srimati Radharani, isn't it? People do the Urja Vrata in this month. It is called as, Kartik month is also called as Urja, isn't it? So the Lord's potency is mentioned in these verses. Shri is the potency of wealth. Pushti is that of strength. So, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, 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 yes. Hope, hope that satisfies your question. Okay, thank you for the question, Hare Krishna. Anything else? Anyone wants to add anything? Okay, okay. Hare Krishna.